Hey Virgo, how are you doing? Let's find out. We're heading into that new moon in Cancer, so manifestation energy. Um, I've been shuffling and I've split the decks intuitively, so we're going to see what's at the top of them to get us started off here. And this is going to be time sensitive, so I want to say between now and I'm recording this on the 2nd, it'll probably go up on the 3rd, up until, let's say, the 15th or so of July, and that'll be about 11 days before Lionsgate portal opens up. You know, those really long dog days where Sirius is lined up over the pyramids, even though pyramids are there for primarily, well, maybe for more than one reason, but they line up with Aldebaran and Taurus for the start of the Egyptian year. Okay, so Virgo, it's been a bit of a wild time, exciting time, at least according to the reads. Let's see where we're at. Oh, wow. Well, that's exciting. Okay, we'll start off with wish fulfillment down, but maybe for the best. Activity with guides, Pisces energy, 12th house energy, Muse energy, but also being all houses, being all signs, wearing all crowns. You know, so it might not be a Muse situation, it might not be creative situation, it might actually be any number, wherever you have 12th house placements. Hard to say, but then that would be so specific to each person, so maybe it just actually is. We'll find out. It's tied to what I would call Aquarius energy and a completion of a betrayal. It could be a betrayal, yes, but the Swords cards have such negative connotations anyway. Whoever created Edward, not whoever, but whoever, going back all those years before it was even esoteric, but, was anything truly not esoteric when it comes out of the north of Italy? Anyway, Ten of Swords could just be absolute mastermind completion thinking, right? You've proven yourself to yourself. In the 8, you've proven yourself to everyone else. In the 9, but we are going back to that 9. And it's interesting, we're going from a 9 to a 10. A 9 reversed to a 10 reversed. So you're at the top of your game. You're at the top of your game, Virgo. And I would put this as Aquarius. Others would put it as Gemini. But I put it as 11th house level considerations. Involving others. Both of these energies involve a lot of communicating, yes, and answering to other people. All right, so now this could be spirit guides as much as anybody in this world, but this would be primarily, this could be knowledge as well, not just communication. But 11th house is what you do with what you know, so there's a fair bit of interaction there. Emphasis on interaction. So let's just see what we want to do about it. Is that what's coming, or is that what is? Okay, not so clear as I was hoping, but what they want me to know. Queen of Wands. I do put it as Sagittarius energy, but it doesn't mean that it has to be a Sagittarius. I put it as 9th house energy. And it doesn't have to be a fire sign at all. It could be you. Knowing what you want, being very intuitive. She often has that cat with her that informs her of everything that she doesn't know for herself. Okay, but having a plan. There might be definitely feeling like some isolation here, or almost some swords, Queen of Swords energy with that wand of done. But let's just see. Is it Eight of Wands. Proving herself to herself. Proving yourself to yourself. Between the Seven of Transformation and the Nine of proving yourself to everyone else. So some regrouping. Some regrouping of what you want. But these can be soul contracts as well. Now, we know it's progress. We know that it's in this deck it's so different from the other decks where, you know, you've got all 8 wands moving in the same direction and you've got communication. Right. So communication is on pause. Wow. I'm going to leave her there on that 45-degree angle. What am I flashing at the camera? Knight of Pentacles. That progress. That would be you. That would be you. Others would put it as Taurus, but I put it as you. 6th house energy. But it could be, of course, anybody. But technically I put it as your energy. And somebody going through a transformation or not. Because it carries the 5, 6, 7 of Pentacles with it. And the 5 is necessary change. The 6 is a gift of free will or soul contract. And then an affirmation of that. Fair exchange. And then the 7 of transformation into who you're going to be career-wise. And we have, when I have a 45-degree angle, I have a process. Something's in process. It's, and she is the 3rd pillar between the 2 pillars. The mediator. So there's something she's doing for you and for the others simultaneously, right? Probably to pave the way. And we do have, what am I saying about that new moon in Cancer? Yes. And she does represent the moon. I also use her as a Lilith card in my astrology stuff, just because there are only so many cards to work with. But because she carries that feminine energy, and the Lilith is so much about your independence, your magnetisms, and your polarities that are in your chart, right? Where you're going to clash with people and where you're going to gel with them. And so she's working to help you clash and gel in the right way with the right people. There's a thing that, like, she's dependent on. When we get to the mutable energy of 8s, 9s, and 10s, we're talking about, it is mutable energy. It is dependent on the actions of others. There's so much you can do, and then there's what others do as well. So you need to be communicating the way she's guiding you to communicate, which you're probably doing. And then there's the time factor. There's sometimes a delay factor in terms of you've done what she asked you to do, and it needs its time to do, to get in through the matrix, and then let her do her thing with it. But yeah, the mutable, the definition of the mutable is that, yeah, dependent on the actions of others. So there's, yeah, you meet in the middle. Sometimes you have to cross the middle, obviously, especially with your concepts and, you know, everything. But then there is the waiting on the others, like that 3 of Wands energy. So that's what, okay, and then, interesting, the Knight of Wands, betting on himself, herself, when nobody else does. Yes, so staying confident, staying confident. Staying, yeah, okay, what else? What else for Virgo? I think it's pretty... You're a true Virgo. This hermit strength of, you know, knowing that you didn't start anything accidentally. You came to this very purposefully, at great risk. Yes, because it's very the sharing of your inner worlds with people is a huge sacrifice that really can't be repaid ever. It just has to be the right thing to do. Wow. What is that? I feel like it's a south node situation versus a north node situation. Like she's pointing that way. Like I've got, like I feel like I have compass points. And the north and the south nodes are opportunities towards and away from things, right? They work together. They're in the same cycles as each other. So like when you're around age 18, plus or minus, I'm trying to remember. And then multiples of that. But also, I mean, we've got it here. So regardless of what age you are, I feel like, yeah, there's an opportunity away from something. Something's in process. Opportunities are in, like it's on that 45-degree angle again. And it's crossing the Eight of Wands, the communication. And here it's so interesting that it's, yeah, just right again. So we've got those, what was I saying about magnetisms and polarities, right? And we have that new moon coming up for manifestations. So what do we want to manifest then? Well, you know what I gotta say about manifesting. That's a law of attraction stuff, and law of attraction is only 50%. Well, I mean, it's partly law of attraction, but it's law of attraction is only 50% true. Their children do not want to attract trafficking. They don't want to attract pedostatists. Lots of stuff in this universe. Lots of stuff in this universe doesn't want to attract anything. I don't even want to attract a birth-death cycle. So now, I mean, a lot of them, the readers I love are law of attraction readers. And I don't, but I love their energy. I understand where they're coming from, and I understand where all kinds of people are coming from all different kinds of faiths. And I like their energy. I'm with my Scorpio self, it's their energy that I'm picking up on. Now the question is if they're consulting with somebody in the spirit realm who is relying on them to communicate law of attraction principles, then and I have someone I love tremendously who's a excellent reader. She's the only reader I've had do a personal reading for me, and she's Jewish and a Freemason. I was heavily instructed by Jews in childhood, but especially in music. My main guru was a Russian atheist Jew who survived the Holocaust. But this reader's guides really don't want anything, because she's a Mason. Her great architect hates my guts, and I'm fine with that. So I had to part ways. But again, the magic is the magic, right? And so it's the messy world of our personal magic, our personal abilities, and getting to the truth, arriving at the truth. And we're coming through different paths to get there. And sometimes we'll have to lose, I don't know, I've had to lose a lot of my ideas in exchange for, doing the scientific process of finding out, of questioning and pushing and exploring and doing what a human should be doing to pursue God. You can't start with a fixed answer. Sirens. But this is so interesting to have these polarities. We're talking polarities. Okay. Now I know that Taurus is having people pushed out of their life. A lot of people. Kali just cleaned house for Aries. I think Kali's cleaning house for Leo right now. So there might be a major shift coming. But you have all that work to communicate. And so You did all that effort of being able to share your inner worlds, being willing to share them. Two of Swords right there. Yeah, between those polarities. And making up your mind about something. New situations, right? You're hesitating about the new situations, possibly. Because we're not communicating. What do we need to do then? What does Virgo need to do about this? What will give clarity? What gives... We want to progress, right? What's the direction to take? Is the direction to stay quiet for a while, or get back in the game? Is something coming through? Is there an intervention? Necessary change. Conflicting desires. And that's between, it's heading towards that 6 in that direction. And the 4 in this direction. Now we don't have what we want. And we're trying to prove ourselves to ourselves, prove ourselves to everyone, prove ourselves to ourselves. Doing the right thing. Doing the right thing. But look at all these different directions to go in. What were we saying about having the confidence? Where does your confidence lead you? Yeah. Where does your confidence lead you? Wow. So, Scorpio energy on the table now. That's stability. I just finished in the meditation for 12th house. It's a 13, and a 13 gives you a 4 of stability, bringing in stability. Cups energy, 5, 6, 7 of Cups energy. Contracts. But that whole bringing, you know, something out of nothing. Creative energy, absolutely. Something out of nothing. Wow, Virgo. Anything else? I don't even know what to ask. Okay, one more. One more. We have a Trinity. Wow. There we go. There's that Scorpio energy right there. Moving in the same direction as the High Priestess. And he's in process. So there's a Knight of Cups energy. Somebody is going through a spiritual transformation, is becoming who they're going to be, is connecting completely with their spirit guides, being, you know, spiritually sound. But again, and those, yeah, somebody's going through the process of transforming, and we're waiting on that. What were we saying about mutable energy being dependent on the actions of others? So we have others, yes, that are going through transformations, and when they're ready, they're being made ready for you. So, what about you in the meantime? Keep your confidence up. Keep progressing. Should you keep communicating? Well, if you stop completely, then who loses? Wow. Well, here's this Knight of Energy again with this King of Swords. So there's a King of Swords affecting you, who's going through this transformation, and they're not going to be communicating. Wow. You know what? Let me get some perspective. I've got to do this. I had to do it with Taurus. I didn't have to do it with the fire signs yet, but fire signs are getting straight up communication from guides through me. Yeah, let me pause and just double check where we've been before, Virgo, in the last reading. Okay, so last reading, we had the coffin in the Lenormand, which would be completely similar to this death. The thing was over. We also had Knight of Cups. We had a Seven of Cups. But I believe in the upright. We had the High Priestess out upright speaking. We had, but we had the Eight of Wands very clearly sideways as well. So communication still, and there was a problem person. Now, it was, I can't remember who it was, but we had, yes, this problem person, and you were going to wait for the green light from your guardian, might show up as the Nine of Wands. And, you know, to look for a guardian, and we had the Queen of Pentacles reversed, but we did have High Priestess out. Okay, so there was a green light that needed to be waiting for in order to get out of this situation, which is different again from what I'm picking up in this problem person is not transforming. But why are they still here? Because you're stuck with them. Is it a family? Is it in the family? Because we had the tree come out talking about roots. We're in Cancer season. We have the Cancer new moon for manifesting. Something to do with roots. And of course, the safe passage of... yeah, no, if we're dealing with North Node, South Node, and if we're dealing with Lilith's energy would be multiples of the age 13, 13, 26, so on, so on, in your life. Could be a situation around what happened in those years for you. But this is... you know, we're dealing with, so crossing that. Crossing this Knight of Cups is the Knave of Wands. The Fool energy before the Fool knows, right? The early Fool, the pre-Fool. And I would put it as Aries energy, even though... sort of the Fool comes full circle. I realize the Fool is also Aquarius. Typically in Tarot, it's Aquarius energy. But it's also first house energy. So that's why it gets equated to Aries as well. So I would say this is the Fool at the beginning of a cycle. So the problem person... You know what I said to Taurus? Taurus ended up having the Fool and the warning not to look back. I feel like there's a lot of backwards and forwards energy here. But if you're waiting for that green light, then you gotta wait for the green light. Green light, yep, waiting for the green light. Very frustrating to be stuck on somebody else's timeline and accept that it's also your timeline. But maybe this problem person is quiet and gone. And in which case it's recovery time. Something needs to be understood. Stability needs to be regained. Clarity. 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 Saturn energy there with boundaries, fears, calculated risks. So the boundaries are changing. They're in process. Well, they're not, I mean, they're stuck. The crossing energy, yes. But probably if the communication happens, you know, too soon, then it screws up the boundaries. Anything else? Wow. So choices, ethics, lovers, Gemini season. The sun is in Gemini still, even though we're in Cancer season. What you know. Right? Third house, what you know. Your Mercury. What do you know? And the ethics. And the confidence. And divine timing. Wish fulfillment. Yes. Red light. So much Wands energy. No Pentacles. No Pentacles energy here. Virgo. Really? Where's that? Nope. No Pentacles energy. Oh my God. Virgo, what about your Pentacles? Are you being, what do we need to pay attention to about your Pentacles? Roots. Roots. Cancer energy. Reverse tower moment. I can see this as a tower card. Third party being over. God damn. I'm going to pause for a minute because I just don't know what the hell's going on here. Okay, let's just rearrange. Let's do a Virgo systems thing here and let's see where we have clarity. Where do we have process? We have process here. Here. Where do we have, and we have crossing energy for that here. We have this whole little side story. I'll put that up there because that seems connected to that. We have paused energy and clashing energy. Yes, the head-to-head. The world and death. with suspended communication. And necessary change. Communication, depending on others. All of this change, leaving indecision. Timing, but knowledge, moon cycles, transformation, that's change as well in process. Again, so dependent on the others. Clarity about what you want, who you want, except for this Knave of Wands energy that is stuck. The movement, the message, the communication is stuck, right? Because he's a messenger. There's possibly a third party. Confidence is there. Okay, so really, all you can do is focus on yourself right now. Stay on your path. This is how much is going on. You created it all. This is the trouble you put in the world, Virgo. This is the trouble, the good stuff that you're doing. My God, Virgo. Okay. You know what? This is the first. It's not the first time you've stumped me. Pisces does this to me sometimes too. So I'll do a house reading for you this in the week and see if I can get any clarity on this. But I don't think it's actually meant to be that clear. I think it's meant to be. I think this is clearly a reflection of what's actually going on. Final word. Oh, good. Good, that direction. Okay. That's so great that we have this. No wonder it's difficult. We've got the sun crossing at odd angles, but 90 degrees with the lunar energy. So we have the balance of yin-yang. And whoever this is, right? The other. Instincts and triggers versus intuition. But again, like two people or more people. If this is down to you and one other person, if this is just a romantic, if not just a romantic relationship, but if this is a romantic relationship, then it's in transformation. But we have that problem person repeating. And maybe they're gone. That betrayal is over, possibly, with that Ten of Swords there. And the Nine of Cups. It's just possibly over. But it might not. If this is that person, then, you know. But this feels like that problem person. So they might not be interfering anymore. And who? Did you get the green light already? I don't know. No, I don't think you did. I don't think you did. Because we don't have, we're going back to the Eight of Cups. Right? We're looking back for that Eight of Cups, that safe passage. It's coming. A lot's being done. A lot is being done in the universe right now, Virgo. Credit to you and everybody working with you. I think this might be what war looks like, spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare might look like this. Okay, I will be back, Virgo, and I'll be praying for you. Much love. Yeah, Virgo, final thought. I'm set up for Capricorn, and I went and checked Capricorn's last reading, and I was saying to Capricorn that because Capricorn's last reading ended up as pretty much as hot a mess as your reading, when for weeks it had been very much all sideways energy. And so I had said to Capricorn, all you can do is really make sense in a decaying situation. You're trying to make sense of what it all was about, right? And take what you can from it. So I feel like that's sort of possibly what's going on for you, Virgo, is in the aftermath, the very early aftermath of that problem person. It's maybe not even aftermath yet, and you're trying to make sense of. It's quite possible, because there are no pentacles energy there. So we're not talking about material world, the immediate problems that even you represent. We're talking about heart, feelings, intuition, and critical thinking. All the kinds of thinking, all the kinds of knowing and feeling, right? Everything that doesn't necessarily, it's going to affect your interactions in the world and how you're providing for yourself, but it's those weren't on the table. So I feel like you're in a period of possibly overwhelm and deep introspection about the whole situation. That's my feeling about it at this point. And so if that helps add any clarity to it, I just wanted to say that as an afterthought before I get into Capricorn's reading. So yes, I'll be back while you're waiting for that green light. Absolutely. Okay. Much love, Virgo.